Okay, so the next step in the cleaning process, after you've brushed the tracks, you've used your white scrubbing pad, you've pretty much got all majority of the debris off with the white scrubbing pad. Next, you want to use your scraper blade here. Now, you would use this primarily if there's paint overspray from someone painting the house. If there was a lot of bird poop or other debris on the glass, you're going to want to use your scraper to clean the whole window off, to scrape the entire pane of glass. And before you start, you always want to test a corner of the glass for fabrication debris. And the way you do that is just by doing just a couple of inches like that. And when you do that, you'll hear a kind of like almost like it's on sandpaper. You know, it's going across and it just sounds like sandpaper. Now, if there's paint, you can get a similar kind of sound, which is why you want to do it twice. So you want to do it one time, wet it again, always wet the window before you scrape. Do a second pass in the same area. If on the second pass you don't hear any kind of sandpapery type noise, like I didn't hear any noise there really, then you know that the window pane doesn't have fabrication debris. If it does, if you do hear that noise, that means it has fabrication debris. You do not want to scrape this window. The fabrication debris, when you scrape this window with fabrication debris, you're most likely going to get scratches in the glass, and then of course your customer is going to be very unhappy about that. You don't want to have to replace windows. You don't want to have to pay for someone to come buff out the glass. It's just not worth taking that risk. Okay, so once you are done testing the glass for the fabrication debris, you know there's no fabrication debris, go ahead and scrape the entire pane of glass. You can either scrape, you know, top to bottom, side to side, however you want to do it, doesn't really matter. Now this window is pretty much ready for the final part of just washing it and squeegeeing it off and then doing the detailing. One thing you want to note when you are using this blade, it's very sharp. It can in fact scratch the frame. So you want to be careful that you're not gouging the frame. If there is a rubber seal here, someone does have like a rubber seal where the glass meets the frame, you typically want to angle your squeegee like this so that the tip of the blade doesn't risk hitting the rubber. So you could go across like this and then stop short, so you're going to have to be mindful of that. Can't just haphazardly just go, you know, back and forth like this. Otherwise you're going to hit that rubber and you're going to slice it, and then there's no fixing that. Also, when you're using the scraper blade, you only want to go one direction. Do not leave your blade on the glass and pull back and then scrape and pull back and then scrape. That can scratch the glass if there's debris being pulled across the glass instead of being pushed across the glass. So always scrape, pull up, set back down, scrape across, pull up, pull back across, set down, go back across. That's how you want to scrape the window. Like I said, these blades are very sharp. Be careful that you don't cut yourself. I had a friend who was cleaning windows with me as another friend window cleaner of mine, and he was not aware just how sharp these are, and he cut himself. He had to go get stitches. It's really easy to cut yourself deep with these. These are like surgical blades practically. They're extremely sharp blades. So be very careful. Make sure you always cap off your blade when you're done. This one has a cap that pushes up and down. Some have caps that clip on. And then make sure you secure your scraper so that it doesn't fall and cut you or cut somebody else, especially if you're up on a ladder, high ladder. You don't want that falling down and landing on some people and somebody down below. Some scrapers actually come, there's a spot here to hook a cord, so if you're really concerned, you know, you could get like a stretchy cord or something. That way if it does fall, it's not going to fall down on anybody below. Always want to be really safe with your scraper.